here!
Oh, hey there! It's been a while, hasn't it? What have you two been up to? Seems like you've been enjoying.
How about you? What are you up to now?
I'm just looking out for some leads while getting some fresh air. I noticed that I have some blurry memories after. I almost feel like there's still something extremely important I need to do.
Why is that? Don't worry, we'll help you remember.
Thank you so much. Since you're willing to help,
It's beautiful.
I found it in the sanctuary of Suristana, but I have no recollection of it whatsoever. It's filled with pure elemental power that is quite similar to mine, but yet it's also a little different. It's very likely that it's connected to my foggy memory, but I can't figure out what it is.
Traveler, do you have any ideas? You know, Nahida, we just happen to be going on an adventure right now. If we find anything, we'll be sure to let you know right away.
Thanks, you two. I didn't mean to trouble you.
Don't mention it. Besides, it seems you've got a lot on your mind, and we'd like to...
Hey, get out! You shouldn't... I'm sorry, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Fungi don't usually come near this place. Last warning! Get out before I kick you out, you hear?
Hang on. I think it's
But Great Dendro Archon, it's a monster!
Please, don't worry. I think I understand. Seems that it wants us to follow it.
You can understand it?
Even though different creatures have varying habits and ways of communicating, I can feel its anxiety and fear.
Well, fungi are kinda cute. That's true. Okay.
All right, lead the way, little fungus.
Although they all look about the same, some fungi are friendly, while others are super aggressive and attack anyone they see.
It can't be helped. Perhaps in their eyes, humans are like fierce monsters as well. After all, they can't distinguish which human behaviors are hostile or not, and it'd already be too late for them once humans have drawn their weapons. Hence why they tend to strike first, rather than waiting.
That's not too different from how humans think sometimes.
That's what I meant by shared emotions. It appears it was in a hurry because of this unconscious fungus.
Seems like they might... So maybe this fungus wanted to bring Nahida...
Probably. Although fungi are simple creatures, maybe it noticed me on my way back and thought I'd be able to... I'll take a look. I should be able to help if it's just a common illness.
What is it, Nahida?
Strange. Very strange. This fungus didn't develop from a spore. It's an elemental life form.
Huh? An element?
Yes. Although the fungi you normally see are capable of using elemental powers, as for this fungus, it has elemental power flowing through it. Definitely not anything like your typical fungus. Exactly. This is very interesting.
So this is a first even for Nahida.
But that's not all. There's a large void within its elemental power. The void is stopping the elemental power from flowing normally.
So do you think it'll wake up if we can fill the void?
Yes, and I just so happen to be good at this sort of thing. My power was compatible. Looks like everything...
Lord of Dendro, is it really the... Oh, I can't believe the Lord of Dendro saved me. Thank you, as well as the
Ah! It can talk?
Oh, I didn't expect such a strange creature to make a sound like that. Seems I'm just as shocked.
What? Of course Paimon can talk. Paimon isn't a strange creature. Paimon...
Hello, Paimon. I am not yet able to evaluate an organism's intelligence for...
Oh, well, no need to take it serious. But does Paimon really look so dumb that people might think Paimon doesn't know how to talk?
You misunderstand, Paimon. A mouth is used for eating, so a creature may not speak, even if you do possess a number of human traits. It is still very common for creatures to have similar external forms, but
Did this fungus study at the academia?
You're not a fungus.
That's correct. This might be surprising to you, and I'm sure that it might startle my fellow family members if I speak too much using the... Me. It says that it's very thankful for...
I was confident that I knew of all the creatures in Teyvat, even if there are ones I've never seen with... However, even if I were to lay out the traits of what are you, and where did you come from?
I come from an ancient race. We have existed for a very long time, possibly longer than any records in... My home was filled with flowing water and great mountains. Lush grass covered the land, and my family and I lived in bliss and happiness until the apocalypse came and changed my home forever. A horrifying power consumed all there was. The seeds of catastrophe nested and grew inside of us. We were victims of the apocalypse. Yet, in time, we...
The apocalypse?
I'm not sure what it means either.
It's a long and complicated story.
Don't worry, we'll listen.
I was lucky and managed to survive. Afterward, I left with some of my family and we came in contact with many species and learned from their cult. We later found out that humans know the power of the apocalypse and refer to it as forbidden knowledge.
Your home was destroyed by forbidden knowledge? Does that mean you're from the...
It said that they are looking for a way to save their homeland, but the catastrophe of the desert should have ended a long...
The Lord of Dendro is correct. We are not from the desert. I would very much like to tell you the location. That may sound a little odd, as it is very important.
Yes, how could you forget?
I am a life form that was contaminated by the apocalypse. A part of my knowledge and memory was taken away as the contamination inside of me.
I get it now. So the void... I'm sorry. I hadn't...
That's okay. Lord of Dendro, there is no need to apologize. Without your... And not only did you save me, but you've also already rid the world.
That's right. The forbidden knowledge is no more, and your homeland...
My home should be safe now. We can go home. For the longest time, this moment has only seemed like a dream. I was unable to fulfill our calling. I never found a way to save my homeland.
It's not your fault. You've already done... Every species paid a grave price in the fight against forbidden knowledge. This is not a responsibility You mentioned that there were other survivors besides yourself.
The apocalypse put us through immense pain. Many of my family members have already...
Don't worry, I should be able to find them. I'll leave the rainforest to the Aranara. And as for the city, there are a few nice...
Oh, yeah!
Give me a moment. I'll contact them right... That should do it. It may take some time to find them, so let's wait.
Thank you, Lord of Dendro. We all believe that you will keep... The moment I saw you when I awoke...
Agreement?
You might not remember, but this is a prophecy that we deeply believe in. That the Lord of Dendro will bring...
Ah, I see. I'm sorry, but I'm very concerned about your homeland. This is something...
Would you all be willing to come with me somewhere as we wait? The more family members that can return home with me.
But didn't you say that you don't know where they are?
Yes, but I know their end. I will...
There's something that I'm very concerned about. Yes, I didn't mention it just now, but do you remember when I told you that the power in the crystal, the elemental power inside the crystal, is completely identical to...
What?
Exactly. The prophecy that it mentioned was probably an agreement that I made with an elemental. I had to deal with the forbidden knowledge to save their homeland. That sequence of events would explain the persistent feeling that I had.
Makes sense. Too bad it's unable to...
Yeah, I've been trying to think of a place. Agreed. I really want to send them home.
The road here is a little rough. I'll lead the way.
Don't worry, Paimon can handle any road! Ah! Enemies! You're up, traveler!
You are not welcome.
Illusion shattered! Into the wind! The wind knows me.
Scatter!
Amazing. With such skills, you all would have
Hey! Paimon has been meaning to ask.
No, we didn't. The appearance of our kind will change. After communicating with various living organisms in Sumeru, we discovered that fungi are the life form most. Thus, we gradually took the form of fungi and became a part.
It's hard to believe that's even possible.
The most important instinct any life form possesses is adapt. Your hand is shaped like that for a reason. The reason why fungi absorb elemental power is to blend with the environment and we are dendro life forms, one of the most ancient life forms in this land.
So you mean, if Paimon wanted to, Paimon could change into...
Not as freely, I'm afraid. You would require although this is common sense to us, it is still extremely difficult to explain. You cannot make a sprout grow into a giant tree instantly, nor can you force a
I see. Humans have a term for this. It's called growth.
Ah, you're so smart, Nahida! Paimon gets it now!
Growth. I see. A most beautiful word. I shall enjoy it more as we...
How much farther is it?
We're about halfway there. You're doing great, Paimon. Do you need me to carry you on my back?
Huh? Oh, no! Paimon was just curious! Paimon isn't that tired.
You seem to enjoy taking care of others.
You think so? Does the Lord of Dendro need to be carried?
That would be awkward, wouldn't it? Why don't you fly up and sit on top of my head?
We can figure out who will carry who later! We have monsters here!
I think we may have a different understanding of... No matter whether it's tired or not, my child is always happy when...
Child? You mean the fungi we ran into?
Yes. One was my friend, and the other was my child.
Why can't your kid speak?
Because it's just a fungus. I don't want my presence to change or affect the original state of the fungi species. However, it is slightly different from an ordinary fungus. It seems to understand some human language.
Oh, then it must be a really, like Bongo had.
You have an odd taste for names.
Huh? Paimon thinks that name is
Strange and cute at the same time. It's a name only Paimon would be able.
That's right.
The name I came up with was not as creative as Paimon's. I learned it from an Its name is... I'm sorry, but I've forgotten. Seems like I've forgotten many Yes, I must remember it before I return. Yes, this...
I've been waiting for you for...
It's the withering.
Yes, I have heard humans also... It's the last form we take when we are at the end.
It's trying to say that when they've suffered enough and reached the end of their life, they become a tumor.
Yes, I would have also suffered the same fate if...
So, this is...
Previous research has revealed that forbidden knowledge is the root cause of the withering. But even if forbidden knowledge has been completely removed, its influence still remains, which is why the withering remains even after they've been tormented by forbidden knowledge for a long time. It's understandable, but what a sad and pitiful end.
When I left my homeland, flowers like these filled the fields. Each bloom represented an individual life. They grew in the pristine lakes, in the fertile soil. They grew everywhere. Until the world suddenly lost... But it's all right. Our life essence, elemental... After an adventurer clears the withering, I will quietly draw near the area.
But that would mean the effects of forbidden...
It's okay. That's not important anymore. It's not right to leave them to simply perish in the open like this. Now that we finally have the chance to return home...
I understand. Just leave it to us. So you're worried about me? It's fine. Forbidden knowledge does... It's natural to want to be overcautious when dealing with a highly venomous snake. But when all that's left is...
Paimon doesn't get what you two are talking about, but let's do this. We've dealt with the withering countless times.
Grow! Shine down!
Scatter!
Clouds high. The birds call. Inazuma shines eternal.
As I expected. It's the last of my kind, so it wasn't able to make it to the end.
I hope that you will be free of this pain after returning home.
Just thinking about how many elemental life forms have turned into
It's okay. As long as elemental powers, an external form is but a gift of time. Through growth comes change, and
It wouldn't have come to this if we were able to cure them earlier. But I will cure all of them. Even if it's just for the sake of the rainforest and all the life...
Thank you, Lord of Dendro. It was a wise choice for us.
Hold on. I think I got something. Oh, I see. Okay, I understand. So, They found a fungus that matches the description.
It must be in a similar situation as I was.
Okay, follow me. We're close now. It's just a little further inside.
But there are so many fungi here. They're probably all ordinary fungi, right? Yeah, they won't be happy to see us.
No fighting. These are, although we belong to different species, we've spent a long time living among. They can be reasonable, as long as we.
What should we do? You're the but you'll need Nahida's power if you want to save the.
I've got an idea. Can you teach me how to change into a fungus?
You want to transform into a.
Nahida is a god. Changing into a fungus should be a piece of cake.
Even gods can't bend the laws of time so easily.
Then we'll have to enter with the risk of being noticed. We may not be able to avoid a fight, but if spending some of my power will guarantee the safety of you and the.
All right. You have great elemental power, so you will have to use power equal to that which is required. I will lend you the relevant knowledge that I have. It should.
All right, I'm ready. Changing into a fungus should be quite an interesting.
Lord of Dendro, this is nothing to joke about. I am extreme.
As am I. I'm not joking at all.
All right. Let's not get hung up here. If it's
okay. Good luck.
Wow, you really turned into a fungus.
It's actually not too bad. My perspective in this, the unconscious fungus, is just below here.
Oh, how do we do that?
I'll get close to them while you make your way up. You should be able to identify them using element. Then, all you have to do is repeat the correct answer in your mind.
Okay, got it.
Let me lure away the fungi up top and make.
All right, good luck, Nahida. Let's go.
There's a fungus on patrol in the center there. It looks pretty vigilant. Nana! It seems they didn't notice me. It seems that fungus won't be moving for the moment. This is the spot. There are several fungi. I'll hide and wait for the traveler to catch. So this is the one.
Nahida? What?
I never knew that it was so tiring. I even used the techniques that it taught me. Seems like it's warning.
The power of time accumulates slowly and goes unnoticed. A great price is to be paid if you wish to perform drastic. Thank you for everything you've done. All seems to have gone according to plan.
I apologize. Language is not easy.
It's okay, I have good news. Let me explain it to you, the
Apocalypse ended?
Yes. Unfortunately, I've forgotten where home is.
I remember. Really? That's great! Home. Dendro Dragon.
Dendro Dragon. Ah, yes! The Dendro Dragon! I'm sorry, I just got so excited. I've probably never expressed such emotions before.
Oh, wait a minute. Paimon's confused. Do you mean the Dendro Dragon as in an elf?
Yes, they're both dragons, but Apep, the Dendro Dragon, has been around for longer and has accumulated debt. But I don't quite understand. Why would you say that you're...
Because we live inside the Dendro Dragon.
The Dendro Dragon. Inside. Very big. Mountains.
There is an entire world inside the Dendro Dragon's body. The Dendro Dragon nurtured the earliest life forms. It once told us in a majestic voice that once we finally matured, we'd be able to start life in a new world. However, that day never came. Our homeland was the greatest...
Paimon's still confused.
Yes, a very good example. It appears that you're much smarter than Paimon. The only difference is that...
Wait, then if that's the case...
Yes, that is correct. What has suddenly made you look so worried, Lord of Dendro?
Apep is the most adaptable life form in the world. The forbidden knowledge should have become a part of its body a long time, which means that if all the forbidden knowledge has been...
Then a big void will also form inside the dragon.
I'm afraid so. Its body and soul have probably been in terrible No wonder I haven't seen Apep for so long. But how did it get contaminated? Was it due to the destruction of King Deshret's civilization? But anyway, Apep disappeared and has been gone ever since that time. It's been enduring Yes! How could I... If the Dendro Dragon fails to hang on, the elemental power inside it will no longer... Dendro elemental power of that concentration will cause the rainforest to overgrow. Giant trees will completely block out the sun. Plants and humans will fight over oxygen. Sumeru will no longer be suitable for sustaining life.
Hey, what about the crystal?
Yes, I'm sorry. Have you two ever seen anything like this before?
No.
Its power feels very familiar. Like something from our... I'm sorry, our memory...
It's okay. I'll contact my helpers just as I did... I'm counting on you all. Your info is crucial to us now. Let's wait for their reply again.
Thank you. Family bringing fruit.
I explained to them that you aren't hostile. After seeing you save it, it's
Go home, thief. Hard decision. Don't know. They are weak. I worry. If waiting, then...
Don't worry. I understand. Family is very important to us. No matter when we were actually family. It has done a lot to protect this territory, and can you do one last thing for it while we wait?
Of course. I can relate to how I need to organize my thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you. Tend soil. Don't like plant invasion.
There are two things that it wants you to do. One is to look after the land that the food is grown in, and the other is to...
Soil. There. First. Seed. Paimon understood that. No need to translate. We'll...
This is...
We planted all the seeds! It's time to handle the invading plant life! Ah! Wildflowers! It wasn't kidding when it said plants were invading!
Propagate! Yeah! Spring form!
Whew! That should be all of them. That was...
Yeah, I've calmed down now. But it does...
Can you tell us about the Dendro Dragon? We don't know anything
Well, the history of dragons starts from the very beginning of Teyvat. Sumeru was Apep's territory. In those days, the lush rainforest covered the entire...
Oh, so there was no desert back then?
Not at first. That came when a giant spike fell from the sky, turning a huge section of the rain. In an attempt to adapt to its new environment, Apep changed color from the emerald green of the forest to the yellow of the sand.
No wonder those two elemental life forms are always talking about the importance of adapting.
Apep has always seen itself as the master of Sumeru and has refused to recognize the new order that was established. Even now, it probably still holds great However, powerless against the power in the sky, and then the forbidden knowledge many millennia later, it's been unable to stir up any trouble. Conflicts between the two sides are destined to continue until a balance can be found. As far as I know, Apep had been slumbering in the desert, and King Deshret had taken a great interest in it. Maybe this is why Apep was content. I'm not sure what may have led it to become involved, but rescuing it is definitely our top. The crystal that I have in my possession. There are still...
Thank you, Lord of Dendro. You really like them, don't you? Family. Like. Do you not like our family? That's not what Paimon meant. It's just that you guys are just like that. Family likes me. Paimon doesn't quite understand.
What it's trying to say is that as long as family members get along well, you place importance on appearances, but we do not. We find the experiences, knowledge, and connections we've made to... These are all things that are more reliable than mere external appearances.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. Looks can always change, so what's inside of us is more important. It wouldn't matter. Paimon would still be able to recognize you.
Oh? Understood. Thank you. Still nothing new from the forest. Seems like we won't be able to find... It appears we are out of leads to follow. And if no one
Sorry.
It's okay. It isn't your fault. I don't think it's a coincidence that maybe it's because the crystal has a very close connection to forbidden knowledge, which causes memories of... And if that's the case, finding the other fungi still wouldn't help us at all.
The crystal and the apocalypse, Lord of Dendro. Do you still remember the prophecy?
I do.
The prophecy is a story that connects events of the past and the future. A family member once said that the apocalypse is a part of us, and that there is value in the rest of the family did not approve of its opinion.
Preserving the apocalypse? Do you mean that there's still some that hasn't been eliminated?
That's not very likely. The power of Irminsul. Did the prophecy say where that family member...
To the limitless depths east of Sumeru. A murky place that no one can return from.
Yeah, that must be the chasm, right?
It's impossible to preserve forbidden knowledge, but... What if it can be converted to a different form? I'm sorry if I'm suddenly not making any sense. However, follow me. I'll explain it once we find that